The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to McStabber Studios Queen's Gambit, Wraith The Oblivion edition, I guess. I am the storyteller and completely all sunshine and rainbows tonight, Shanky McStabber.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'm playing Isabella Caputo, and also the shadow of Nicholas Bowens.
I am Timber Brad. I'll be playing the psyche of Nicholas Bowens and the shadow of Isabella.
I am the Reverend Benjamin Powers. I will be playing the psyche of Rupert Allen Grange and the absolute best friend of Julian.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Revenus Archon, and I get to play the psyche character that's called Julian Finnegan, and I get to play Ben's shadow down there, who is also all rainbows and sunshine.
Hi, I'm Maddox, and I'll be playing Wilson Anders, as well as the shadow for Gary Foster.
And I'm House. I will be playing Gary Foster and the shadow of Wilson Anders.
I'd like to first of all thank you all. And as we open up tonight, last week, they were given a task by the Lady of Fate, a creature that you do not ignore, and you follow what she says. But they were sent to find some items. It was funny because the Lady of Fate did not exactly describe what they were or what they even looked like. Not that it matters, because they set out to find them. But first they had to pay the cost for their trip to the far shores, a cost that broke a fetter, something that kept Julian anchored in this world. He had to go through the harrowing where it was a test by the shadow about his past and how to reconcile certain events. Unfortunately, Julian did not succeed at that test, and so he's lost that link to his sister. It is gone now. No longer able to keep him bound to the Shadowlands or the Skinlands. But as we go in tonight, I want you to remember, death surrounds us. It's constantly threatening and eventually overwhelming us. It cannot be ignored or forgotten. The stench of death taints everything we say or do. The suffering of the human condition is described by the despair of purpose and the angst of spiritual miasma. Life is so often devoid of meaning or significance. And life does not last long. It is but a spark in the dead black night. welcoming us at the terminus of life. Death awaits us ever patient. Death is a rebirth. It is a stepping over, a passage through the shroud. It is not an ending, but a beginning. It is a rite of passage and the end of one journey and the beginning of another. The fear, the loathing, the terror, the peace, the salvation, the ecstasy, the pain, and the oblivion. That is death. Death is all, and it is nothing. You all don't know how long you've been on this boat. Time has no meaning when you're sailing the Tempest. Could be an hour, could be a day. You know it's been some time since you saw the paper boat with Emily on it. A young girl, obviously not as young as she appeared, with sharpened teeth. And the ferryman, he treated you to some amazing sights. You saw creatures, angelic in nature, some demonic in nature, flying overhead. But he finally came to the shores, what appears to be solid land at the edge of the Tempest. And it is the oddest thing you've seen, because here, where you've landed, there's lush green grass, trees, vines, something none of you have seen since you've passed over. It's a verdant land, lush with vegetation. This, I think, is where you get off. I would tell you the way to go, but I really don't know.
Where the fuck is that?
To the far shore.
As soon as it said get off, I get the fuck off this cursed boat.
Yep. Immediately follow.
Yeah, Nicholas will hop off and immediately go to like the nearest patch of like green and just kind of like run his hands over it, just sort of like testing it, but also trying to remember what it feels like.
It's there. It's grass. It feels real. There's even a smell of that forest smell, that earthy loam kind of a scent.
Can I make an alertness check with my traps specialty?
Sure. Perception alertness.
I won't be getting off the raft till everybody else is safely on shore.
Yeah, I was gonna say Isabella gets off last, so there's an awkward moment as Isabella like looks at you and looks at the land and then looks back at you and just like,
After you.
Five
Yes.
successes.
Hey, Gary. That was just get your attention. Reroll 3 of the successful dice, please.
I'm going to tell you this, Wilson. Or sorry, Gary's shadow. It was difficult to do what you just did. You tried to speak. There was something between you and him. Something made your powers hard to reach, though you did reach them.
So it's still confirming it still worked?
Yes, it still worked.
Then 3 successes total.
3 successes? It appears to be a forest. Unless the vines are planning to attack you, it appears safe. The one thing you notice with 3 successes, though, there's no insects noises, no sound of creatures scurrying in the bushes. It is a dead silent forest. The only sound is the tempest behind you.
Stay alert. I am not hearing any fauna amongst the flora.
I imagine we would have been able to see them with our ability to see living things.
I mean,
As
bugs,
Rupert,
anything. I mean, no other ambient sounds outside of the storm.
As Grange does get off the raft, he looks at the faux ferryman. You've gotten us safely here. Thank you for upholding your end of the bargain.
I didn't do it for you.
Regardless, you did it.
I did it. Because even we understand fate. Enjoy your trip to Eden. And he paddles the boat back out into the Tempest, where it's quickly lost in that strange kind of not water.
Yes, this would be.
Go ahead.
No, you first.
I just wanted to ask, how far does the Tempest stop from us?
You're on the beach.
Mhm.
There's no sand, but it goes Tempest to Forest. You are right on the edge.
Gary's gonna take out from his belt his empowered Stygian sledge and just have it at the ready.
The hooked and barbed chains that are worked into Rupert's corpus begin to twitch and writhe a little bit. And as he's walking, they're actually kind of tracing lines into the ground behind him.
Would you like me to take lead or cover our six? You seem like someone who would like to take the lead, but I'm more than happy to.
After you, I'll make sure nothing sneaks up on us.
You
Right
sure
then.
like being in the back, Rupert. Keeping
just-
an eye on all of us.
I spent a lot of time in prison prior to my finding myself on these shores. I am discomforted when I know that there are people behind me. I apologize if that makes anyone uncomfortable. But
Normally I'd be suspicious, but you have literally zero incentive to do anything to screw us over.
Oh, dearest Rupert, we would never hurt you. I mean, fate did explicitly tell us we have to work together.
and in my way of doing that, I will make sure nothing harms those of us who are closer to the back.
Muted Shadow starts right off.
I pulled the pen because obviously he's my psyche. Rupert, don't be coy. Take the lead like the man suggested.
And I will tell you, Julian, Rupert Shadow. It's very difficult to speak. You don't know why.
Keep an eye on that one.
The same goes for Isabella's shadow. There's something here pushing against the shadows. It's not unpleasant. It's just difficult to deal with. So, what is your plan? Are you just going to walk into this forest?
Gary's like, it's fate. Fate will guide us. So he's going to start walking and now keeping, since he didn't kind of notice any traps, he's going to keep an awareness for specters.
Yeah, I think at this point, Nicholas is just more curious at all of the greenery, given he hasn't seen it in a while. Yeah, he's just focused more on what's in front of him than where they're supposed to go, I guess.
And as you step into this forest, there's no path, no game trails. Doesn't appear anybody has ever walked through it. The going is rough. Rupert, your chains get caught on limbs. Though none have fallen to the ground, there is no dead anywhere.
Does anyone have or can create a machete?
Question. The chains are barbed and hooked when they catch on the branches. Do the branches bleed?
No, they don't catch on
Okay.
the branches. The hooks don't, but the chains get
Okay.
snagged up. But as you're checking
Okay.
to look for that, you notice they're not leaving grooves on the ground either. Your feet are not leaving footprints.
So basically, the ground is the environment is resetting itself as we walk.
That
Okay.
is a good, fair assumption.
All right.
You're the first one here, Brad. Think about what you can find. Well, I said Brad, not Nicholas. Oops. Think of all the things that you can find, Nicholas. Take all the samples. You never know when you're going to come back.
And Nicholas's shadow, you're experiencing the same thing. It's difficult, but not impossible.
Is everyone else finding it difficult to reach out? Or is it just me?
Oh no, it's definitely all of us.
It's this place.
I don't like it. Julian feels so far away. I'm not used to being alone. He's useless without me.
Oh, this could be fun.
Any ideas as to what's causing it?
I would guess it's the abundance of life.
Perhaps our masters have little sway here. That's unfortunate, but everything will work out well in the end. I have faith.
So sort of like, go ahead. So
Nothing.
sort of like in response to what Gary had asked about the machete, but also what Nicholas's shadow had said to him, Nicholas will ready the scalpel that he has
Mhm.
and just kind of like hold it up, showing it to Gary. This is the only blade I have.
You said that in a totally not weird way, but I appreciate it.
That's normal for him. I hate
Yeah,
to say.
I've learned that in the little bit of time that we shared with each other. I've learned some things from a masker friend of mine, but it's rudimentary, nothing like what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just a question. If not, we'll make do. Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
I'm gonna kneel down for a second and pull out a Ouija board.
Okay.
Oh shit. Well, since you're doing it, Wilson will kneel down opposite you, reach into his bag and take out a set of actual bones.
No, anybody's free to come over and help me with my little widget.
Nicholas immediately walks over to the bones.
I'll keep an eye out. Watch the environment. And
I will look
Shanky,
the other
I'm
way.
gonna do an awareness, perception and awareness. If my specialty and awareness for that ain't right, we'll kick in. Let me know.
Oh, sure. And what are you doing, Julian? Are you doing some fatalism?
I'm going to be reading the bones.
I will also be reading the bones right opposite him, just to be safe.
Okay. You're going to reach into Fate's design.
Yep.
Seeing what may occur. Costs 2 pathos.
Yep, sure do.
Happily
Perception.
spent.
Fatalism.
You got it.
And then you can ask me one simple question per success. But if you attempt to self-predict,
Nope.
You'll give your shadow temporary angst.
That would be 3 successes, and if my specialty applies, that's 4.
Okay. 4. I will keep that in mind.
Wilson, I'm going to be focusing on the forest at hand. So if you want to focus on one of us, we'll trade notes.
I was actually going to go for the goal of the mission more than the mission itself.
Fair enough. I didn't want us doubling up on anything. That's all.
And that's 4 successes with the perception fatalism storyteller.
How many?
4.
Okay, keep that in mind.
Okay.
How many's Julian got?
I would have had 4, but I got 2 1, so I only got 2.
Okay, we'll start with Julian. You got 2 questions.
2 preguntas.
They got to be rather simple questions, but
Yeah.
about the future in this forest if No one intervenes.
No one intervenes. Will we find what we're looking for?
Going to give your shadow one angst because you said we, and that includes you. That is self-prediction.
God damn it.
As it stands, you will find what you're looking for.
Okay.
Second question.
Will anyone turn on anyone else, not including myself?
As it stands now, fate does not show that. It does not show anyone turning.
Okay.
Wilson, you have 4 questions.
Sorry, only because the player didn't quite comprehend what he was asking there. Yes or no only
No, it can
for the
be
questions?
just simple questions.
Brilliant. Where are they headed?
You're heading to Eden. Your shadow. Oh, you said they, not we. So you
They,
did not give your
yep.
shadow an angst.
Bitch, I'm a solicitor. I know my wording. Second question will be, what's going to try and stop us?
I have to ask for clarification. Stop you reaching Eden or stop you from getting the items?
The items.
Yourselves.
And yes, I did say us, so my shadow gets an angst on that
Shadow
one.
gets an angst for that.
Third question shall be, which of them will be the most useful getting to Eden?
All of them.
Okay. And then for the final question, what's one of Julian's passions?
Now, that's an interesting one. He only has one, if I'm remembering correctly.
I have 3 passions.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong part.
Oh,
Familiar protection. I will not tell you the thing that is associated with it. You don't
Of
get
course,
the emotion.
I just get the general sense of it.
Mm-hmm. He protects his family.
Okay.
So Julian's playing with the Ouija board. Wilson's throwing a handful of bones on the ground in this silent forest.
I got the board once I'm done.
Once the bones have been thrown and it seems like it's done whatever he's doing, Nicholas will take the scalpel and just cut one of the blades of grass and watch to see what happens.
It turns black. Dies instantly.
Does it grow back?
No.
Which part specifically dies? The part that was cut off or the entire?
The entire piece. Both halves.
Does the darkness spread anywhere?
Nope.
So just that single blade.
Just that single blade.
What would be to happen if one of us got injured? Would we grow back? Would we turn black? Only one way to tell.
At that moment, Nicholas eyes his scalpel and then just kind of looks at everybody else, but not Isabella, but just looks, contemplates for a second, and then stands back up and looks at and waits for everyone to kind of come to a consensus of what's going on next.
It looks like if we just keep doing our thing, we should come across whatever we're looking for. It's not to say that there aren't any dangers, but Doesn't feel like anything's working against us. I don't know what you found out, Wilson.
Julian, now's our chance. You can lead. You're the highest ranking member of the hierarchy. You're the one with military experience. This is our expedition to lead.
Let one of those fools go first. No sense in putting yourself in danger.
So if we keep walking, we'll just find what we're supposed to find.
I
That
mean, fate didn't
describes
tell
fate to
us. Exactly, Gary. Fate didn't tell us. But it will probably be led there.
Well, then if we are going to continue, we should be about it. I'd rather get this errand done sooner rather than later.
Lead the way.
He looks over at Gary and kind of sees if he's going to go back to leading the group.
Oh, Wilson, don't you have anything to say?
In his head, Wilson will just say, "Oh, you rat fuck."
Ghost cat got your tongue?
I wonder, as an aside, I wonder if it was the knife or the action of destruction that destroyed the grass, the intent to hurt it.
You used to have a knife.
You wanted us to go this way, right, Gary?
Yeah, we can go this way. Literally, any way we go is going to lead us there if we presume correctly.
Do you have the closest understanding, I guess, tie to fate, Gary? I guess I'm trying to figure out which one of us is best.
Oh, no, I'm just being pragmatic. I mean, we are tied to fate, so I figure whichever way we go is the way we're fated to go. Feels logical in this weird circumstance.
So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy is what it is.
Wouldn't
Exactly.
surprise me if the world rearranges itself either.
Or that. This is we are in a very strange place.
I just begin walking forward.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I thought we were walking and talking.
Yeah,
Oh,
walking and
okay.
talking.
All right.
It's tough going. There's a couple
So-
times where you think it looks a little clearer if you move, shift to your left or shift to your right. But whenever you do that, it's not clearer at all. It's almost as if the forest is playing tricks on you. But once you leave the site of the tempest, you can't hear it anymore. Can't even see it peeking through the trees. You appear lost. Wilson, you can talk again.
May I roll a awareness roll for specters?
Of course.
Rack.
If we could take a moment. Go ahead, Max.
Storyteller, I can't seem to find the mechanics for that one.
You're going to use which one?
Rack.
It's additional thorns document that he gave us.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one where you penalize them.
Yep.
Yes.
I just don't.
Yeah, you spend a willpower and you can negate.
Yep. When you spend an angst, you send agony through his corpus. You remove a amount of dice equal to the level you have in rack from his pool.
2.
6 successes then. I had rolled pretty well.
No, you rolled 2 less dice for the
Oh,
roll.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just re-roll then.
Let's take a moment to get our surroundings, catch our bearings. And as I say that, I want to grow my phantom wings and fly up over the canopy.
Okay. How many did you get?
4 successes this time.
The way the light strikes Nicholas Bowens, there's something there, a shadow on him.
Anyone else see that on Nicholas?
See what?
That shadow there? The light
I look over with my castigate vision. Let me tell a specter from a shadow.
Perception castigate, please.
Yes, sir.
Castigate vision, also known as naughty vision.
Makes it sound like you're planning to spank him with your eyes or something.
3 successes
so
on my
that
wings.
cancels out.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be 5 successes.
Nicholas has a shadow, but he also has a second shadow attached to him right now. Second something attached to him.
Well, then.
While you're doing
I'm
that,
going
Julian,
to-
you fly up.
Yep.
It's kind of rough. It's kind of difficult. You make it through the canopy. And as you reach above, you see the forest stretches. There's no tempest anywhere around you anymore, as far as the eye can see. But in one specific direction, you see, if you didn't know any better, towers shining in the light.
I'm going to clock that direction and then kind of turn myself and just let myself float down.
Okay.
So that I keep it ahead of me.
And what is Rupert doing now?
Rupert is going to concentrate for a second, and his hands begin to open and close, and there's an audible cracking motion. And I'm going to invoke Get Thee Hence, which is a point of pathos, charisma plus castigate, difficulty 7, and an opposing specter or other such creature it's an opposed roll. And if I win, they have to immediately flee up to 800 feet away. And my successes indicate how many turns it's active for.
Go ahead and do your charisma castigate.
Okay.
Is it clear that you're doing something?
It's you can feel the shadows would be able to feel more than the psychs would that something's about to happen.
You talked about how your hands were, you cracked your hands. Though.
Yeah.
So visibly, could we see it?
Yeah, I mean, you can see him. Looks like he's concentrating on something, and his hands are clenching. If you can interpret that as him using a thing, then yeah.
It's not. It's less the using the thing and more towards, I guess, emotions toward Nicholas. Is it clear that you are trying to do that? You are dissatisfied with something about Nicholas
No,
right now?
it's more. It looks like he's in preparation for something,
In
and he's
general.
looking just past Nicholas.
Okay.
So that would be 8, 7, 7, 7, 7. That would be 5 successes.
A small form, little more than a child, shoots off of Nicholas. You've seen that small form, though now she's lost in the forest from you. Emily was
Do I feel
attached
this
to him.
at all?
You saw her shoot away all of a sudden.
Great. Nothing bad happens when a little girl is lost in the woods.
What direction did she flee into?
Oh,
Sorry,
yes.
Red.
Who was that? Was that Izzy?
Nicholas will start moving towards where the thing disappeared to.
Nicholas, do not follow it. I have a feeling it was the stripling from earlier.
Nicholas, how far do you follow it? 800 meters is a long way. Or 800 square feet. That's still a long trip.
If he gets past, like, if he starts thinking he's going past 20 feet, one of the chains will kind of extend out that far and just gently tug on the back of his jacket.
I think before he even takes a couple of steps, Isabella would like grab his arm and be like, "Hey, like, what are you doing?"
So as soon as Isabella touches him, you know you'll never compare.
I'm going to keep walking this way. I hope you all follow.
Hold on, Gary, because when I was above the canopy, I saw some towers in this direction. So if you want to take your machete hand and start.
Oh, I don't have a machete hand. I asked if anyone else had a machete hand. I have a sledgehammer.
All right. Well, if you want to take your sledgehammer and start guiding us in that direction.
Deal.
Nicholas will stop as soon as Isabella pulled him, and when he turns around, there's almost like a sense of it's a mix of like happiness and loss, because I think it's like the first time he thinks he might have gotten an idea of where she could be.
Come on, let's follow.
What makes him so special that this little girl chose him over you?
Are you really sure that you're the one who should be at the head of this? You didn't see your wife and business partner behind your back. What makes you think you can see the path that we need to take?
Nicholas, you're going to need to roll again. Give me once again perception alertness.
Any penalties?
Nope.
Okay. Same thing, the perception alertness.
Mm-hmm.
Four.
Okay, you don't find her. I will let Isabella also roll perception alertness if she wishes. Because she was watching Nicholas. Watching over Nicholas, maybe?
Normal or 6 successes,
Yep.
right?
Six difficulty.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
As Nicholas goes off towards the woods, you catch the sight of a shadow shoot over to him and merge once again with him.
Rupert, what the fuck is that?
I look back over there and the creature's back.
Yes, it shouldn't be. Your castigate should have kept it away. But it didn't.
Rupert, can you do something about that? We don't have the time to deal with whatever this is.
And a child's voice laughs. Here? You won't keep me away? I'm staying with Daddy. Right, Mommy?
You are not staying with him, and he is not yours.
You will have to destroy him to get rid of me in this place.
I doubt that's the only way.
It's the only way you can. Maybe the one who rules here will send me away. Maybe not. He is fickle that way.
I wouldn't
Can-
count on it.
Can we all hear this, or just the
All of
three
you
them?
hear it.
Okay, all right.
It's coming
Well,
from Nicholas.
well-
Not his mouth. It's just coming from Nicholas.
Well, congratulations, Nicholas. You're a father for the time being. I prefer to keep.
I
Let me
don't.
know if anything happens or if you feel anything off.
I don't want to be the one that brings it up, but the elephant in the room is that we could just take Gary's hammer to that little girl and be rid of her.
We're not going to do that.
I mean, you could certainly try. I don't know if it'll be that easy.
And I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't really feel like fighting any sort of specter right now. It's just we've got other shit we need.
As long as she behaves.
She won't. But good luck.
I'll behave, Daddy. I'm a mindful child. I don't want to make Mommy mad again.
Smart kid.
To the rest of the shadows. All right. Full agreement. Rupert McDickfuck can't keep touching us. He's making this impossible, and the place is already against us.
I mean, he's left me alone. I think everything's worked out quite wonderfully.
Yeah, get your psyche under control, you fuck.
My psyche is perfectly under control.
Storyteller.
Baby having a hard time.
Yes, Isabella.
So I have a question. As his shadow, does his shadow experience anything odd, being that there's multiple shadows right now?
No.
Okay.
Though you could try talking to it.
Are you going to help me?
No. He's my daddy. I want to see what happens here. So few of us can navigate the forest.
Are you going to be a problem?
I'll try not to.
We can be your daddy. Rupert would love that.
Why don't you push your daddy to have lots of adventures? Then you can really explore things.
I just want to see if what I heard is true of this place.
And what's that?
You're in for a time when you reach the Shining City.
Shanky, I also sent you a message in Zoom when you have a chance.
Okay. Good. And as you're standing there, something crashes through the forest, Wilson. An elephant cuts through the forest in front of you. Just for Wilson, no one else.
Talk about an elephant in the room.
We're outdoors. What are you talking about, a room? My shadow thinks it's got jokes.
Julian, you still know the direction of the city. You haven't been distracted from that.
Yeah, I have a hand just kind of like in the general direction. You all right, Wilson? Is this something we need to address?
I'm just going to have to ignore the elephant in the room. I'll be fine.
If the predations of your shadow become too much to bear, I can help you with that.
I don't like you. And then Wilson's going to start heading that way slowly. He doesn't want to be in front, but he still wants to indicate, let's go.
As you're moving through this forest. Again, how long are you in this forest? A day, a week, a year, an hour, a minute? No sound. You finally notice the clouds aren't even moving. The sun hasn't changed its position in the sky. Time has no meaning when there's nothing to show and reflect it's changing. But after some time, you finally can see, others in the group can see the tops of towers, 3 of them, shining in the light of the sun. Up ahead.
Okay, I think you might have sent me a message by mistake.
Yeah, I did. It meant to send it over to somebody else. Hang on. Sorry. Thank you.
So that looks promising. Good job, Julian.
Hope that's where we need to be.
I'd be very surprised if it weren't. Though it's hard to be very surprised in a place that is all surprise.
I'm liking the pop of color, at least.
Doesn't have that faded, washed out look.
Yeah.
But as you get closer, suddenly you're not in the forest anymore. You're not aware of stepping across the edge into a clearing. But 1 minute, trees and vines are all around you, and in the next, they're behind you. And in front of you are a large set of gates, shining, reflecting light with multiple colors, almost as if they've been inlaid with pearl itself.
Are they locked?
They're closed right now, but you haven't approached them yet.
I'll approach.
There's a city of some kind beyond it. And as you approach, these large gates swing inward. Right now, you don't see anybody walking. It appears empty. Do you enter the city?
I'll look back at everybody. I don't like the look of this, but, stay close.
Does this still feel right for people?
I don't think any of this has felt right, but
Relatively speaking.
It does
yeah.
feel more wrong than anything else.
I don't have a better option.
If shit hits the fan, just grab on to me.
Or find an umbrella.
You got it, Captain.
I will
Nod.
shudder at that word,
Umbrella or captain?
Captain.
I will once again staying at the back of the group as everyone moves forward. I'm keeping the group, including the stripling, in my line of sight.
And as you all enter the city, a person steps out of one of the buildings. For most of you, all but one of you, you don't recognize him. But one person here does. Rupert, the first person you killed, steps out from a building. Rupert, is that you? And right here, we're going to break, everybody. We'll be back in about 11 minutes. Please enjoy the break. Welcome back. Before the break, these group of wraiths, psyches and shadows alike, stepped foot on the far shores, one of the many islands in the Tempest. This particular one was called Eden. And out in this forest, they found a shining city. And having stepped through the pearly gates, Rupert was greeted by a man, the first one he killed. Rupert, who was the first man you killed?
That would be the mail carrier for the town he grew up in. His name was Mr. Wilson. And visually, he looks like Mr. Hooper from Sesame Street, with a mail carrier's outfit that would be in use right around the 1920s, 1930s. He has the red nose of a career alcoholic or someone with a lot of busted capillaries, but otherwise looks like just the kindly old, slightly pudgy man that would inspire a great many young people and trusting people to confide in him. Very honest, open face.
Hey, Wilson, I dare you to ask Rupert if he killed him because his package wasn't delivered on time.
Now, they don't know the significance of this person, just that he said, "Hey, Rupert,"
Yeah.
right? Okay.
How you been, Rupert? I know that's you. I'd never forget a face.
The giant is very confused for a moment, but this is not the first person who passed onto this side of the veil through his hands. And he just kind of calmly stops standing at the back of the group and steps towards the front. I didn't know that you would come through on this side, Mr. Wilson.
Oh, of course I did. It's a
Has
shame.
it been treating you? Has it been treating you well?
Well, I'm in paradise. Of course it is. You appear to be burdened, though. I hope it's not what happened between us. I've long since forgiven you.
Storyteller, honeyed words is what I would like to use here.
You invoke your powers, and nothing happens.
Seeing that one of Rupert's passions is tied to forgiveness for those who he hurt, would that be an acceptable reason to roll on that?
Yes, you can roll number of dice equal to that passion. Difficulty is 6 to regain pathos.
Okay. That one's only a twofer.
And as he's speaking to Rupert, the gate closes behind you silently.
It's 2 successes.
So you get back 2 pathos. Come on, well, now that you're here, you might as well come around. I knew you were coming. I was the one sent to greet you. I'm sure everyone else would like to see the city and meet some people too.
Sorry, how do you two know each other?
Oh, well, Rupert killed me.
Rupert, you can't just take someone out because a package was late. My God.
That was not why Mr. Wilson died at my hands.
And
Whatever you
what
say.
was the reason?
I didn't like the way he was looking at the other children.
Just a misunderstanding.
Oh, Wilson, look how sad he is.
The other children, does that mean you were a child when you committed this murder?
You're finally back together with him.
I was 15 years old, only slightly smaller than I am now.
He always was a big boy.
My father was a large man, and God saw it fit to make me in his image. And I'm pleased to hear that you have extended forgiveness. I appreciate that.
No. Ain't no matter. What good is holding on to the pain forever?
In complete agreement. If we allow the pain that we experienced in our lives to rule us here, then we can never move on to something better.
I see that. Now that's wise words. Very wise words. Come on and follow me. Let me show you around. You'll find a couple of the people gathered. They're excited to meet old friends.
Shanky, is he a specter?
You don't know.
I look at him with the castigate.
Doesn't work. You can't tell.
Awesome. then I just assume that he is just fine and everything will be great.
Storyteller, would him forgiving Rupert fulfill the balancing of the scales for the dark passion of Twisted Duty?
I don't think that balances scales. That's the forgiveness of one. There's many more victims than one.
Okay.
Gary's
come on. Let me show you around. Come on.
As Rupert goes, Gary's just going to kind of whisper to Wilson, who I'm assuming is next to him. If what Rupert said is true, it's kind of odd that despite, being murdered, this guy is in paradise.
I'm waiting to hold any ideas of what this place is doing to everyone, because if it's even remotely connected to our usual places, this isn't a good spot.
Oh, I'm with you.
I have to admit, I would not be so cordial when meeting the man who murdered me.
You all coming?
Yeah, we're right here.
Yeah.
So as you all move further down these broad streets, there's no smell in the city. There's no sound of people. No wind. These clouds still aren't moving. It's as if the whole city's in stasis. But as you're moving further down, a figure darts out of a building, running straight for Julian. Mary Ellen has come out of a building and she charges you. Julian! And she wraps her arms around you. I'm so glad to see you again. I'm glad you made it.
I've been through a lot recently. Is this really you?
Well, of course it is. I'm sorry you missed my wedding. I knew it wasn't your fault. You couldn't help it. But now we're together again, right?
Yeah.
You got to tell me what you've been doing.
Oh, there'll be plenty of time for that. We're kind of on a task right now.
Time. Like time matters here.
Storyteller,
Yes.
could I check this woman out with some lovely perception subterfuge?
Go
Because a
ahead.
liar can spot a liar.
Go ahead.
And does my con artistry specialty apply?
Well, a con artist can recognize other con artists.
Mm-hmm.
May I make a traps awareness or alertness check?
Go ahead. Knock yourself out with that one.
I am just trusting that everything is exactly as it seems and all will be well.
Yeah, Nicholas is just taking everything and looking around.
We should keep moving. We shouldn't stay here.
6 successes and a crit.
There's no lies detected.
All right.
She's
so
earnest in believing who she is.
Okay.
If 6 is the difficulty, I rolled 6 successes as well.
There is no obvious trap. But this place doesn't feel right. Oh, just promise me you're not going anywhere, Julian. I mean, look, you've got all the time in the world here.
I'm right here.
We have a mission. Let's
Yeah.
go.
We don't have all the time.
Yeah, let's walk and talk.
Yeah. I'll walk with you, and she holds your hand like she did when she was a kid.
I am hesitant, but I'll eventually close my fingers around hers.
Oh, Julian, this is what we've always wanted, right? You're finally being rewarded for all your service. You might want to carry her, though. That way she doesn't trip or fall. You have big, strong arms.
Watch your feet, Jellybean.
Her hand is warm in yours. Sensation you haven't felt. I mean, in death, everything is cold. And she looks around at the group. You're Nicholas, aren't you? And she points right at you, Nicholas. Oh, she told me so much about you.
Who?
Oh,
Izzy.
Where is she?
And when you say, where is she? A voice from a side alley. I'm right here. And it's funny. She looks just like Isabella, though younger.
Immediately, Nicholas will run towards her.
Isabella will grab on immediately.
What good is the copy when the original is here?
She will grab on immediately.
The Shadow will want to use, or try to use, Devil's Dare.
You cannot grab your thorns.
But I still have to spend like I was going to do it.
No, doesn't cost anything. It just doesn't work. Don't have to spend.
Where is this? You know you won't measure up. Not when she's here.
And she runs over and she gives Nicholas a hug. Then she looks over at Isabella. It's like looking in a mirror, isn't it? I'm so glad to finally meet you.
It's not her, Nicholas.
I watched you for so long before I was lost.
Nicholas, she knew me. She possessed me. She took my goddamn memories. It's not her.
As soon as he sees, like, I'm assuming he has a very similar sensation that you described with like Julian. Like, she feels real.
She feels real. The hug was real.
Like
the hand is warm.
The second that he realizes, like, it's kind of like one of those moments where like he doesn't want to let go, but he drops to his knees and is just crying.
And she's wearing the same clothes that she was buried in. You don't have, look.
Isabella will step between them. Just like elbow her way in.
And there's no look of any kind of response of jealousy or anger. I really couldn't have picked a better person to have watched over my brother than you.
Leave.
I'm going to let go of Mary Ellen and come over and kind of try to help.
We lost
Nicholas
the player.
Up.
House is gone.
Yeah, we lost House.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna let go of Mary Ellen and try to come over behind Nicholas and help him get up to his feet if I can.
Let me do this until we find a house again.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Look,
now we've got an infinite number of houses.
Forever.
I never stopped. I never thought I'd see you again.
Well, I knew we would see each other eventually.
It's not her.
Can you get up, Nicholas? We need to keep moving.
I've done so many terrible things.
That doesn't matter
anymore. I don't belong
anymore.
here.
Don't you know here, all is forgiven. The past is behind us. All that matters is this town, this place, this time.
Isabella will turn around and slap him.
There we go. We're getting our player back here, hopefully.
Ooh.
There he goes. He's back.
Bill Coleman.
Don't know what happened there. I'm very sorry.
All right.
Isabella's slapping Nicholas.
Yeah, you missed that.
Gotcha.
It was bound to happen.
Snap out of it. It's not her.
No, please. Isabella, don't.
She
Violence
doesn't
is not
have-
allowed here.
Clearly, it doesn't matter.
It does. You don't want bringing violence to this place. There's only one penalty for that.
But lies are okay? Nicholas, she's not even saying everything that's true. She doesn't know the facts because it's not her. Remember, the madam has her. She is not here.
Gary, do you mind?
She would be disappointed in you.
Mind grabbing Nicholas's other side so we can at least drag him the rest of the way?
Nicholas will resist. Like he has spent like so much of his time, and it's a passion. He has found his sister as it's yeah. He is.
How about I help out? And Emilio steps out.
Don't touch him.
Isabella, it's me.
And why are you here?
I died.
By who?
It was me.
You were gone.
It wasn't him. It wasn't. I think when I killed Matthew, he came back as a ghost. He took my body and threw me off a building.
I don't believe it.
It's a fact.
I don't believe it.
We've been through so much together. Don't you remember? I was the one who helped you get rid of your husband.
I don't believe it. Actually, you know what? Even if it is true, we're walking.
Well, that's fine. I'll walk with you. You want me to grab his other arm and help you?
Yeah, let's do that.
Come on, you know you want to give him a hug. It's the least you can do. Now that she's here, may as well take care of yourself.
I'd be very hesitant to let them make contact with you.
Shanky, where's the stripling?
You can't see a stripling now. You can't access Castigate.
Yeah, that's true. That you clever. Yeah.
On that, can I make? Would Rupert make that aware? Like
You can do perception awareness to try to see her. Sure.
with my Spectre specialty?
Yeah, of course.
Dear Rupert, with all of this talk of forgiveness, maybe this is where you belong.
And just because everyone here has forgiven, that does not mean that I have forgiven. I am, however, very curious to see how this plays out.
How what plays
And he
out?
says that he says all that out loud.
Yeah.
Back to his shadow. Yeah.
Do you reroll? Do you reroll tens?
In this one, 10s are 2 successes, I'm pretty sure. Might be, we'll go exploding because I know other people have been doing it. Go ahead and explode them.
If the specialty applies.
Yeah,
If
if they,
it's
if they apply,
then,
go ahead.
okay, then 9 successes.
Oh,
She's there, barely. It's a mere glimmer of the shadow you saw before.
She is Rupert. If you're curious about our young Glomon, she's here just barely.
so the presence of the pit is weaker here.
Oh, you'll find Oblivion holds no sway in this place.
That's my limit. Let's fucking get out of here as quickly as possible. That's not right.
Took that long?
Yeah,
Let's
we're
fucking go.
I have
Don't you
a
wanna see
large
who-
threshold.
Oh, yes, we
Don't
do
you
need
want
to
to see
move.
who you?
We are in a hurry. There's a feast planned for you all.
Mm.
We get visitors rarely, and
Nope.
there's others here that are waiting to see you.
pomegranates and Hades. You don't eat anything. Don't drink anything.
I am
She'll-
mildly curious to see who Wilson meets.
Are we the guest or are we the meal?
You're the guest, not
Doesn't matter.
meal.
No, I'm keeping. No, both are bad.
She turns to Emilio and she's like, if you ever loved me, you will help me get out of here.
Well, if that's your choice, of course I will.
Let's go.
Yeah, you've got to tell. Go ahead.
Is there something on the rooftops?
In my head, I'd say, if there is, I know it's not you doing it because apparently you don't have power here.
I feel like I'm seeing things everywhere. Stay on alert.
Oh, I am. If you don't want to be an asshole, you can help me, but that's hard for you.
Julian, this strikes me as a perfect opportunity to make sure that you protect her this time. I know one of the things that tears us apart is the fact that we couldn't be there for her after you died. So make sure you stay tightly to her and that you don't lose this chance.
And Mary Ellen actually looks over at you, Julian. I knew you were watching over me after your ship went down. I could feel you. You were always there with me.
I tried. Jellybean, give me some space so I can try to help Nicholas up to his feet.
Oh, of course.
I don't want to keep dragging him.
And Nicholas, Isabella says, just stand up. We have a place to be anyway. I watched over you before. I can watch over you still. Even in this place.
Nicholas will stand up and kind of go where he's being led.
Isabella grabs on and pulls you the opposite way, or the way we're supposed to go.
And Emilio looks over. You know, I don't remember you two being that friendly with each other, but I guess death does odd things to us all, don't it?
For fuck's sake, let's go. We do not have time.
Yeah, Nicholas, I think at this point, the sort of lingering kiss, single thread thing kind of hits him a little bit more than Izzy being here.
That power is still in effect, even though Arcana are not working.
Yeah, he'll go. Yeah, he'll not fight where Isabella is pulling him, but he's still very much wants, now that he's got what he perceives to be Izzy close, he doesn't want to let her go either.
And
So like if Isabella's dragging him, he's going to try to drag Izzy with him.
She
and
just pulled
because
along.
it was confirmed in chat, the chains that are still hooked into Rupert's body as he's following Mr. Wilson, the chains coil forward, and every now and then it looks like they raise up to about neck height as he's following the former person, potential same person, but it almost looks like the chains are making a strangulation motion and then come back down.
You know, once you let go of that, you won't be burdened by the chains anymore. You can be free.
So I am free. This is
You're
freedom.
burdened. I can see it in you. You're burdened by all the things you did. You're burdened by your guilt.
I have no guilt for the things that I've done because I was not the one that did them.
Oh, but you did.
I have accepted the influence that was on me at that time.
That's the first step. Now, you have many more to go. Hopefully.
These are not a punishment. And he tugs, and you can see the thick gauge of the hooked steel pulling at his clavicle, locked into place around the bones. These are not a punishment.
But they are.
These are not a burden.
Mr.
These are
Wilson always thought he knew what was best for everybody, didn't he? But we know the truth. Wear your chains, Rupert. Wear your chains.
We know that it was your voice that guided me to act back then. I've done quite enough listening to you.
My voice was not what caused you to act the other time. That was you.
My apologies, sir. I was speaking to my passenger.
Your passenger. All of your passengers. Do not listen to them here. They hold no power over you. This is the one place you can be safe from them. Safe from yourselves. You can get rid of your burdens, your pain, everything that holds you back.
And perhaps after we have finished our quest, I may return here and see what paradise looks like on a longer scale. But for now, we have something that needs to be done.
Once you've entered the city, if you leave, you will never find your way back. It is the nature of this place.
And you so glibly spoke of setting down burdens.
Here, in this place, you can get rid of your burdens. And Emilio actually looks over at Isabella. You've got to tell me everything you were doing since I lost you. I mean, I killed Matthew because he killed you.
And I'm very thankful for that. You know how much I love you.
Well, I do. Though we never used those words often, did we? Not until the end. Not
Death
until
is a
that
funny
letter
way
I
of
wrote
doing
you.
that. Don't remind me.
Hey, I said it first.
Don't let them distract you. Keep your eyes open. Still looking for something.
And as you head up ahead, you see an opening. It's like a plaza. There's tables set up. You can see the food heaped on it. Wilson, somebody you recognize, stands up from the table. Grandpa. Damn, boy, you done did it, didn't you?
Sir?
Done did it. Accomplished more than I ever did.
You're alive.
Heart gave out a couple days ago.
No, sir.
No, I'm quite dead. You can rest assured I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
No, you're not fucking dead.
Oh, no, my heart gave out. I'm quite sure about that.
Shut up, old man. You don't know a thing about what's happening. Fuck you. Shut up.
I know everything
go-
that's happening.
I'm going to go over and just put my hand on Wilson's chest. They're trying to confuse us and distract us.
I know what
Try
you've
to keep
come-
your head on the swivel.
Look, boy, I know what you've come to get. Nobody will stop you. But take some time. Relax a little. It's not your fault my heart gave out. But I got to tell you, you've pulled off more than I ever could.
My grandfather's not dead because I haven't defeated him yet. He doesn't know that I'm better.
I know you're better.
You're not him.
In this place, your face is getting so red right now. I didn't know it could still do that.
Shut the fuck up.
That's when you notice, you all are dead. Your bodies are made of corpus. Not fully there in a lot of ways. It's made of the stuff of the underworld. These people, all of them you've met, Their bodies do not appear to be corpus. I've already admitted you beat me. What more do you want?
He has admitted nothing because he's still stuck in the flea market. So no, I'm not going to believe for a fucking second.
Do you know what
that
got
you
me
are
in
who
that
you
flea
say.
market? Do you know what got me finally? There's a goddamn kid. That fucking Jack in the Box. It popped up and the fucking heart gave out. My ticker just couldn't take it anymore. And then I woke here. In this place. In heaven. Now, I questioned why I was here. I did bad things. I taught you to do bad things. But you know what? Forgiveness was found right here. I was forgiven and brought here.
I spit at his feet.
Wilson, I'm going to ask you something very personal, and I don't need an answer, but I do need you to think about this. If this old man was an anchor for you, you would know if he was here, because you would have gone through the same thing I went through when I lost my sister.
Do I still feel the connection to the fetter that is my grandpa?
You feel the connection to him standing in front of you. Just like Julian feels a fetter that does not exist next to Mary Ellen.
Where's the shit that we came for? I really feel like leaving.
Oh, you got to wait until after dinner.
You know, it sounds like from what you were saying, you won. Yet you don't seem very happy about it.
I haven't won yet.
You've won.
Take the W, boy. We don't always get those.
We got so little of them in life.
For someone who's on the pro-vengeance side, I get what you're feeling, Wilson.
There's someone you should go ahead.
The Den of the Lotus Eaters in Greek mythology. Beautiful architecture. Spreads of magnificent food covered with the petals of a lotus.
I'm not hungry.
Good. Keep it that way.
Gary. You hear the footsteps. You never forget the sound of her heels. Before you even see her. Oh God, am I late? Am I late? Oh shit, no. Carrie. Your wife. She comes out bearing a plate of food.
There's the traitorous bitch.
It wasn't her. It was him.
She still fucked him.
I was so glad when I found out you were coming.
I'm not staying long.
So many things I didn't get to say. I know, but
Is he here?
oh, he's around somewhere. He was kind of
Tell
worried
us.
that meeting with you right now, he thinks that you've got some hostility towards him.
Good.
It-
Keep him away.
I mean, if that's what you want, it's unfounded. What happened to you was an accident. Plain and simple.
You could almost see the air quotes when she said accident.
Okay.
I'm trying to be respectful here because we don't have that much time.
You have all the time in the world in this place. Do you see the clouds moving? Do you see the sun moving? Time doesn't matter here.
Matters elsewhere.
Not really. Moment here, no time passes there.
I'm assuming I feel the same fettered connection.
Mm-hmm.
Do I sense
Somewhere in the
wedding-
city is a wedding band.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't mean to fall in love with him. I really didn't. But
I'd stop talking.
how are you going to move past what happened and move forward unless we talk?
She has a point.
No one asked you, Rupert.
Didn't you also want to go, Rupert?
I'm just saying that this presents an opportunity for people to get closure if they need it.
That's exactly what this is. And Gabriel won't see you until after dinner anyway. You might as well sit down.
If we get closure on this, we may go away.
And that may be to a better place. Maybe to nothingness. Depends on how much you want to stick around in purgatory.
I'm thinking about everyone else in purgatory.
I know it's a big city for so few people. Most people, they resolve what they've got going on and they take that step on the next journey. I'd like to help you. I mean, we were married till death do us part. But even in death, we didn't part, did we?
If you want to help me, why don't you help me after our task is done?
Well,
You'd still want to help me then, right?
of course.
Storyteller, is this before or after Charon ascends?
In this
Like,
timeline, Charon never did ascend.
Okay, so we haven't gone through Ends of Empires.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Then tell us where the thing we seek is. Let us get it, bring it back, and then help me. Let me move on then.
Gabriel has it at the Crystal Throne, but I told you he don't see anybody until after dinner.
I believe I've sussed out what this is. We don't get to have our paradise if we choose to move forward with what we're doing.
My paradise left down that elevator shaft, Rupert.
God, don't say that.
Doesn't mean it has to stay that way.
I don't, and I mean this with all due respect, Rupert, but I don't fucking think the Lady of Fate would have chosen 6 miscreants who don't deserve, no offense to anyone, moving on for this endeavor, given that the choices are either staying here forever or doing our task.
Look. And Mary Ellen looks at you. Nobody says you all have to stay here. Some of you could stay here.
Boy,
sure
you
if
could
you ask-
fill
If you ask
you could
Gabriel,
fill 2 school buses with the people I sent to this side.
well, then maybe you won't find your forgiveness here. Maybe
Might not
Yeah,
find
well,
forgiveness.
fate will take
I
you
fe-
out of here. You bring up fate. Maybe this sets you on that road, and when you leave here, you find what you're looking for.
I
If
found what I'm looking for. I have a chance to build here. Out there, back before this, the thing I had to sacrifice was my life. Now I just had to sacrifice my fucking hand. I have purpose here.
And you can
The-
have purpose here.
my understanding of the mission is to get the items back, correct?
Yes.
Then why don't we do as they ask? And then once we've secured the items, make the decision if anyone wants to stay.
That's not Izzy. That's why. She is lying. She doesn't know what happened to us.
And Emilio
Oh.
looks over at you. Look, you know how this works. You don't think that Lady Fate is playing you up straight? She's got her own motives. She's setting you up too. You know the game is played. You survived so long in that kind of a situation. You know everything she said you've got to look at from both sides. Because everyone lies to you. Everyone. Isabella, you know better. You were taught by one of the best.
I also know that this is a lie.
It may
Yeah.
be part of the task too.
He comes over and he hugs you. I'm here.
We all know she only picked you because she died first.
She'll hug Emilio tighter.
He's there. He's
Nicholas.
solid. Even has that faint scent he always had.
I don't have the same history you clearly have with Isabella, but I don't think we're meant to stay here, if that's what you're thinking.
No. Mary Ellen looks up at you. You're meant to choose. We always choose. Life is a choice. You chose to get on the boat. And I understand you had to survive. You had to get the money. But now you've got choices. We've all got choices.
Jellybean, if this is a choice, then I'm going to take the items and go back.
You're going to leave me again.
I'm the only one that can navigate the Tempest out of this group.
Oh, I'm sure Gabriel will help you find your way back. You're going to leave me again? I mean, if that's your choice, I can't stop you. I'm not even going to try. But
yeah, I know. The needs of the many have always been at the top of my list, and you've been right behind them.
That's why you're bound on this. That's why you're stuck here. Because you always put duty first, not yourself.
Muted.
Ben pulled the button.
Don't worry, Julian. You'll always have me.
Given time, that voice which talks to you, it'll fade too. In this place, the dark side leaves. It has no way to feed itself. It starves. You'll be free to be you again. But at least if you're going to leave, Julian, please, at least sit down and have dinner with me.
If we go looking for Gabriel before eating, will we find him?
You won't be able to get into his towers.
Wilson walks over to the table, pulls up a chair, sits in it, kicks his feet up onto the table, and just leans back.
Now, boy, you were taught better than put your feet up on the table. This ain't no damn barn.
And that's how I definitely know you're not him. Because my grandfather didn't give a fuck about that. You're too kind.
In this place, kindness is all there is. Disrespect and anger and hate, it has no place here. This is a land of forgiveness, kindness, love, and compassion.
You're talking like a mark. That's pathetic.
I did teach you that, didn't I?
The nice ones are always the easiest.
I know. But you know who's easier than that? The con man who thinks he's smarter than everyone else. She played you, fool.
The nice ones tend to be easier, but it's the mean ones that are more fun.
The All-Mother played you. Do you know what it's going to take to accomplish her mission? It's going to take the destruction of one of your souls.
Well, hopefully it's not me.
Well, it's going to be one of you. It has to be one of you. That's how that works. In order to do what she wants, you're going to need the power of entropy, oblivion. You're going to need the power of creation, spark of the divine, the undying.
Now we know why you were chosen, Rupert. This has been your path all along.
She played you.
Julian, you can't be the one. I need you, Julian. You have to stay. You have to stay with me, Julian. You can't leave me.
In my head, I say, I'm not fucking dying for you.
Nicholas, you're muted the whole time.
Sounds
I
right.
sense my shadow shrugging.
This is your chance now. You can be the one or be rid of him.
I'm telling you, Wilson, she played you. She didn't tell you what it would cost. She didn't tell you that when this thing is fixed, Milwaukee Citadel will be no more. The protections that has kept it safe will be destroyed.
Oops.
The Spectres will be free to run in and destroy the Citadel.
What's the cost if we stay?
You stay here forever.
And Fate? What does she do?
She has no power here. Gabriel.
She has...
No, she doesn't. Not here. This is the one place she can't. She can't reach.
And this place is a mirage.
This place is built on the collective beliefs of millennia. It holds the power of those who have dwelled here for millennia.
I get it now. I don't know if you all have seen TV, but this is like an episode of fucking Cheers. All the people we know, all of them just happen to be here. Even the ones, and his eyes will cut to his grandfather and then cut back. Even the ones that aren't fucking dead.
The chains connected to Rupert begin to twitch and move, and 5 of them snake out from his body, and each one wraps around a different chair and pulls them out. And
I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit and stay, Rupert. I think that's what we have to do to get to Gabriel. But you said this place is powered.
That's why I pulled the chairs out so we could all sit down.
I look at. I don't remember who. Sorry, I look and say. You say this place is run on the power of belief.
Well, yeah.
Separated from what's going on the outside world.
Yes.
It's not paradise. It's a cult. You're heretics. Following the guise of one person, this Gabriel. It's a cult.
What's their real motives here, Nicholas? Why are they doing this? What does Gabriel want? Is this a battle against fate? It doesn't make sense. Figure it out.
Izzy looks over at you, Nicholas, and look, even if what he says is true, do you feel my hand? Does it feel real? When I hug you, does that feel real? This is as real as it gets, especially after death. This is as real.
I will sit down.
Everything.
As we're...
If you leave, I'll cry.
The only truth we've gotten so far, Nicholas, is the fact that we will have to make a choice at some point. I'd start making it if I were you. And I'll sit down.
Nicholas won't say anything, but he'll sit down at the nearest chair, almost in the same manner he did when they would have family dinners. Like, he would just sit down and wait.
Isabella, do you sit down?
She's not sitting yet. She looks very hesitant. She doesn't know what she's going to do.
Emilio goes over and pulls a chair out for you and stands behind it, much like he's always done.
Isabella, I don't think we have a choice here.
But that could just be what they want you to think.
Then we'll deal with it.
Will we be able to? What if this is like a fucking Fae thing, where once we eat the food, we're cursed to be here forever?
Who said anything about eating food?
There's none of that.
Fate,
well,
they say
dinner isn't complete until you've eaten. But there's none of that here. There's no tricks played. There's no, you're trapped forever because you ate the wrong thing. That's not what this is.
Can I make a bullshit roll?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's a Wraith bullshit roll?
It's going to be perception.
I would say
what do you want to roll?
subterfuge or empathy.
Subterfuge works, empathy. Yeah, sure. You can roll either of those.
Yeah, I'm
I
going to
had
do the
either of
bullshit
those.
roll too. Perception,
Can I do-
subterfuge.
Can I do enigmas with my logic specialty?
Sure.
All right, we need to keep an eye out for fucking pomegranate seeds. We need to keep an eye out for.
Can I don't have a specialty in this, but since it's Emilio and she knows Emilio really fucking well,
Okay.
can I okay.
Shanky, I have a weirder idea I'd like to try.
Okay.
So with the Eidolon background, you can influence control over a harrowing in various ways. I'm going to concentrate for a second and see if Mr. Wilson turns into my father, who is also someone I've killed.
No, he doesn't change.
Okay.
I rolled 6 successes, 3 of them being 10s, re-rolled those, and got 2 more successes.
There is no duplicity that you can see. Isabella, how many did you get?
3.
He's acting just like Emilio. He's waiting, holding your chair out, waiting for you to sit down. And unless you miss your guess, after you sit down, he's going to ask you what you'd like and fix your plate for you. Even though he loved you, he was always a servant first.
I got 5 on the bullshit check too.
This is Izzy. Even the little way her eyes crinkle when she looks at you.
Emilio, if I wanted to leave right now, what would you do?
I'd escort you to the gate.
And then what?
The gates would open, and if you stepped out, you would be gone.
And you?
I would be here until I moved on.
You wouldn't attempt to leave?
No,
Why not?
because I've made my choice. My choice is to stay here. It's unfortunate. I would be sad. It would probably take time before I moved on, because I wouldn't want to let go of you. But
Then you would have chosen to come with me.
you know, sometimes I have to make choices for you. And if I step out of here with you, that's not a good choice. That would keep you bound forever. You wouldn't want to leave because I'm still here. You wouldn't move on. You'd be trapped in your past because I'm with you outside there, where oblivion will take over, where entropy wins, where that dark side of you will slowly poison you and twist you. Here, you can be you. I can be me. And sometimes, as you know, I have to make choices that you probably don't like, but I do it to try to save you. It's what got me killed. I'd do it again, and if you choose to leave here right now, I'd make that choice a second time. For you.
Isabella, I'm going to ask you something personal, and I don't need an answer out loud, but I do need you to think about it. Was Emilio a selfless man in
He did.
life?
He did die for me once, or almost.
No, actually he did. You embraced him.
Yeah, she's not counting that as death because he was still there.
Because what he's proposing is a selfless act. But not to play devil's advocate or anything, but if he was somebody that loved you unconditionally and immortally, he would want to leave with you, is my idea.
It's good logic.
Muted.
The problem is, she knows I'd sacrifice myself for what's good for her. Whether she thinks it's good for her or not, that was always my job. My job was always to look out for what was best for her.
My comments were directed at her, but I appreciate your input in this situation.
I don't mean to be an asshole here, but we need to shit or get off the pot. If fate may not have power here, but we still have choices of our own to make.
Is there any food on the table?
There's whole tables full of food. Any food you think of, the moment you think of it, you notice it's on the table.
He just reaches forward and grabs a cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger, and
God, it's
making
perfect Juicy.
making eye contact with everybody for a moment. He looks dead forward at his victim and takes a bite of the cheeseburger.
It's juicy. It's perfect.
So, Shaky, it almost seems to me like they're describing something that's very much like transcendence.
They're describing something.
Are
Are you going to take that as part of your, as one of your passions?
I happen to have a 5-point passion in regards to hope.
Do you have hope?
This is a hopeful moment.
Then I will let you roll 5 dice against difficulty 6.
Yep.
And as Rupert eats the food, right here, everybody, we're going to end the second of the Wraith episodes.
I finally made my decision too.
Good. Then the viewers will find out when we return to the Wraith story.
Yeah, no, Wilson's not happy.
That's the beauty of it. They'll all find out when we come back in a few weeks for the rest of the Wraith portion.
For all the times that I've run Wraith, I have never been on this side of it, and this feels way too heavy. I would like to go home now.
It's fantastic.
You'd like to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride?
I would like to thank my players and you, the viewers, for this. I said I was going to turn expectations on its head, and I think I've accomplished that tonight. I think I've brought you a new realm of horror without being traditional horror. What's so horrible about this place? Every wish you have can be fulfilled right here.
That's horrifying.
Sunshine and rainbows are bullshit.
All you have to do is turn your back.
It seems pretty good to me. Just saying.
Yep. All you have to do is turn your back on everything.
It's cold.
Thank you to the players. Thank you to the viewers. Wow. Up next, for the next of these Queen's Gambit, by the way, we are going to be kicking off Werewolf, which we'll get to in the schedule here in a few minutes. But between Mama and myself, we've set a bar. Let's see how everybody else pulls it off. Welcome to the Far Realms. Please, everybody, join us on our Discord. The cast of this show and all the Queen's Gambit and all the other shows come directly from our Discord. Look, these people here signed up for this. They walked into it knowing what was coming.
Fantastic.
And I hope they enjoyed it. And I hope, secondly, they're doing okay. Hope I didn't traumatize them too much. Their characters, I hope, are fucking traumatized as shit. The players, I hope they're doing okay. If you want to catch back episodes like the vampire portion and the first episode of Queen's Gambit Wraith, pop over to our YouTube. You can also get Chicago Hidden City, Kansas City, which is currently on season break while we do this, but it's coming back. First 2 seasons of Demon, because, dear God, even if I did get the date wrong in the teaser, Demon is coming back. So you can check that out. Werewolf, Mage, Changeling. You can watch Ravenous Archon on the other end of the screen. He does some traumatizing stuff, but I'm not sure if I've over-traumatized him now. Not yet. I'll get there. We're not done yet. And please, you want to get some merch? Get some merch, whatever. I'm not going to push it that hard. Get merch from the studio if you want. Just sign in to get the R-rated merch. We have a new merch idea, Heist Hose, which, Heist Hose is a great one. You'd have to see the Monster of the Month stream to understand that joke. But Heist Hose is a new t-shirt that has to happen. Trust me. It's some good shit. You want to see some amazing content creator? Check out our friends. One of which down here that I've traumatized Isabella a bit. Mischievous Red loves this kind of shit, but what you got going on, Mischievous Red?
Yeah, sure. Let me talk through the tiers. I sometimes stream on Sundays when life permits. It's varies between video games or creative stuff. It kind of just depends. If you drop a follow, you'll figure out when those times are because it varies.
Yeah, seriously, pop over to Red's channel. We love Red. She always signs herself up for some of the most fucked up storylines that we love because it's great drama, great story, and great emotion. And she brings it every time. Timber Brad, we know you just have this going on right now. Though I hear a rumor one day you might actually end up streaming some Delta Green.
Yes, sir. I have been working on the layouts and stuff, but I definitely have an idea already. So it's just getting everything together and then putting out a casting call.
Well, if you're streaming with us, don't worry about your layouts. I got that covered. I make all the layouts for people. I help out all I can with the people who stream with us. I make the layouts, the breaks, the intros. I cover all the fun shit. That's why I'm so busy all the time. Ravenous Archon, let people know what you got going on.
Well, I have going on that I hate percentile-based games because they're garbage. Percentile dice should not exist. But otherwise, I do stream my own TTRPGs here on my own channel, and you can catch me either on Wednesdays where I get to be a vampire or a changeling or whatever flavor of the month I happen to get roped into. And I can't say much about Mage because I have a player at the table, but we will be doing, I've seen where the bar is set, and I was already going above and beyond.
You got some good fucked up shit for him? Are you going to dangle everything they could ever want right in front of them?
No, Mage is worse.
I don't know. I don't think I'd enjoy this particular choice. Just saying. Rev Ben Powers, you got anything going on?
Well, hopefully I will be once again playing everyone's favorite Scorpion in one of Ravnos's games again soonish. Right now, I just have the finale for Monster of the Week coming up, and I am working on a kind of got blindsided, but it looks like I might be running a Warhammer 40K tabletop game on my own channel in late December.
I've been eyeballing at some point doing a Warhammer Dark Heresy miniseries.
Yep, we'll talk. Yeah.
Just because I think it'd be interesting as a miniseries or a Rogue Trader. One of the two.
I have ideas.
Yeah, so it's actually the Mancharian one. So the group will be creating a patron that could be a rogue trader, could be an inquisitor, could be the group all decides. And then that patron sends them out on various missions throughout and there's a lot of intrigue, cross-faction intrigue, and the players drive a lot of it in that campaign setting. I was fascinated by it after I played Rogue Trader, the Owlcat game, which is on sale on Steam right now.
Rogue Trader's a lot of fun because the players don't really have to worry much about money.
Yep, 100%. So that's what I got cooking. Thank you for giving me a chance to plug.
Hey, I always like to. House down there, Gary. I don't think you were happy at seeing your wife. You're muted, but I guess that explains
if we're supposed to get everything we wanted, there sure as hell wouldn't be the guy who I think killed me there with her still wearing my wedding ring. That is definitely not something I want. So,
but it is what you wanted. He's not there to see you.
Yeah, but he's there somewhere. Wearing my wedding ring.
Just wait. There's something you want.
Oh, I want to kill him.
Maybe that'll happen.
But again, I think this whole place is a cult.
Murder is never the answer, Gary.
And Maddox, what you got going on?
Apparently a lot of emotional baggage. But for the most part, it's actually you'll find me as the storyteller for Changeling Stained Glass here on McStabbers. You'll find me as the storyteller for Changeling Queen's Gambit here on McStabbers. And who knows, maybe in the future you'll also see me running some game or another at some point or another. Who knows?
Or playing, hell. You'll be back in Demon.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, Carsador is back, baby.
And, well, he's a malefactor. Everyone knows what that means.
Yeah, he'll make a nice motorcycle for Red's character. Because that was a great scene, just saying. If you want to support the players, everybody, bits and donations to go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way for you to give to the players because, you know, we put a lot of time and effort and get a lot of emotional ups and downs. If you want to give to the studio, of course, you can pop over to KoFi. If you subscribe on Twitch, you don't have to worry about your getting your ads, which is great. Or watch it on YouTube, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. That supports the net, costs you nothing, which is great because, you know, we're getting closer and closer to Christmas or Mama McStabber and I's Christmas, which is Halloween. And, you know, money gets spent. So Mama's exhausted. See, she's not even in this game. She's exhausted. So Mama can get a coffee too, even out of this. And now for the schedule, let's see. Tomorrow we have Call of Cthulhu at 3 p.m. Eastern. Join the Victorian investigators as, God damn it, somehow Urani survives. Because I've been waiting for John Graves to get killed, and he's not been killed. Or Greaves, but Graves. I want him to be John Grave.
He's too handsome to die.
Tiss says she keeps trying to kill him and doesn't manage to do it. I don't know. And then tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturday's a double feature, we have Chicago Hidden City, which is the Chicago game run by Junie Von Esch, set in the time of Joseph Peterson's rule.
Folks, check this chronicle out if you're into Vampire, because holy fuck.
It's definitely not a Shanky chronicle. Junie doesn't believe in constantly gut punching everybody.
No, but she's given us just enough rope to hang ourselves.
Well, that works too. That works too. And of course, there is no stream Wednesday because Dark Ages ended. We're taking a break. But let me see. I got to look at the schedule here to make sure. Nope. The next stream after this weekend will be Friday the 11th when Werewolf Queen's Gambit kicks off. When Junie Von Esch gets her werewolves, and I'm sure bad shit will happen to them too. I hope so.
Sure, the werewolves will have no problem retrieving what they need to retrieve. Werewolf quests never are difficult.
Now, here's your question for tonight, though. Was Grandfather lying about the cost of this mission?
I doubt he was, which is unsettling.
So, as always, everybody, I may like to traumatize the characters in this game. I don't want to cause mental trauma. Take mental health seriously. Check in on those around you. Check in on friends, family, loved ones. Make sure they're okay. A lot of people aren't. They mask it real well. Myself included, I'm good with my mask. We all have that shadow inside us, that all darker side that whispers to us things that we really shouldn't listen to. But like the shadow, you can't help but hear it. So
it's okay to not be okay. Get help.
That's right. And, you know, as you wrestle with your own shadow, please reach out to your support network. And if you can't, in chats and list numbers, you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you're in crisis, please contact those numbers because you need help and we want you to get off the ledge that you might be on that puts you in crisis, okay? If you're not in the U.S., go to findahelpline.com, or if you're on YouTube and put in your country of origin, and you will find out what the support lines are in your country, okay? Because look, mental health is health. And as much fun as we have in these emotional roller coaster games, we want to make sure that in the real life, we're not suffering more than we have to, okay? So please, take it seriously. And as always, since Mama's not here, get your damn shots. Timberbrad's here. He can do his get your damn shots with it.
Get your goddamn shots.
There you go.
Yes,
he's also
you can
the
get
other
them
nurse.
at the same time. They are perfectly safe to get together. I did it a couple of weeks ago. It's fine.
Yeah, so get your damn shots, okay? And please, everybody, make sure you're registered to vote. Check your registration. We got all of our mail-in ballots finally came into this house so that we can start getting ready for our mailing and voting here, get your damn, make sure you're registered and vote. And, you know, do your homework, but please vote for the ones that aren't trying to regulate other people's body that is not their own, that is trying to tell people how to live their own life. Don't vote for the ones who want to ban books and ban everything just because they don't like it. And don't vote for someone who wants to scream fake news every time anyone says anything that they don't like. Okay? And you know what that means. I don't have to say it. So please, make sure you vote. It's one of the few things where you can make a difference, okay? Every vote counts, especially when you're voting to vote for your local, state, and local voting, because guess what? You make a huge impact on state and local. So do it, okay? And now, of course, I do thank you all. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Good night, everybody.